Rebel Gaming Club, worst pickup. Welcome, guys. This is a weekly pickup show of all sorts of media varieties. We like to collect everything over here because it's fun. It's something to do, and it kills time. I am Dan. Next to me is my buddy Woodbarion. How you doing, bud?
Good, man.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We discussed a little bit before the show started. We were like, hey, how's thrifting going for you? And you said you had some luck this week, so that's a plus
That is, man.
because it's still dry here, and it's breaking my heart. And I think I know why it's so dry. So we have this place called Listen Center. It's a thrift chain essentially. There's 3 different locations, and
Okay.
they're all within 15-20 minutes of each other. But what used to happen with this Listen Center was each location would take donations in and sort it and price it. Now they've changed it. One location gets everything, and then they divvy it out to other stores.
Okay.
So that
So it's
means
like,
the stores that isn't the main location, the other stores don't get nearly as much turnover because they're having to truck it over.
right.
And that has ruined the area for thrifting. That means you got one store that gets all the new stuff, and everyone knows it because that's the donation location. So if you don't go there, you're pretty much shit out of luck. The other places you might find one miscellaneous thing every 10 visits. So
Yeah.
it's not even worth your time or effort. So, man, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the big score to happen there with something of note. But man,
Yeah, that's like me with Goodwills, man. I mean, and I had a buddy of mine tell me that he knows some guys that work for Goodwill, and they're like got some kind of side deal going on in the Goodwills now. That's why it's not just the like Goodwill putting it on the internet or whatever. It's also the employees. They're like hiding this stuff, and then they're coming back in or having their wife or their cousin or their whatever coming in and picking up the item they've stashed away back here hidden in the shelves or whatever.
oh, it's
That's
insane. It would make sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I worked at one of those locations, you probably aren't paid all that well. So the
yeah,
one of the perks would be first like pickings of the stuff, and yeah, then all of a sudden you just start flipping and selling all this stuff that you're getting. It would make sense. Like I'm shocked more places don't.
yeah. I mean, it might have been happening all along. It's just the first stuff I've been aware of it. Because that one guy apparently he works in the donation center at the Goodwill, so he's right there where everything's going on. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Michael, glad you could join us tonight. We're gonna go through some pickups here in a couple minutes. We're just still just chatting it up. I asked you before if you had seen the new Batman movie, but unfortunately you had not.
Yeah, it's on the list though.
Let me ask you about another movie. Have you seen the new Uncharted movie?
Like based on the video game series? No, I have not seen it. I didn't even know there was a movie.
All right. Yeah, well, it's the kid that plays Spider-Man. It's that actor.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's
He's playing
really.
Nathan Drake, right?
Yep, he plays Nathan, and the movie was shockingly good considering I thought it was going to be really bad. So that was a movie I just watched. I was hoping you would caught that one, but I guess you hadn't. But that's all right. It's another one you can add to your list of things to watch.
That's two.
That's 2 right there. Both really good action on top of things. Yeah. Um, what are you still just watching Better Call Saul?
I do that in my spare time. Like if Mary's not here, I watch that. But for the most part, man, I've been doing a lot of gardening and cutting grass and just doing stuff around the house and the eBay thing. So for the most part. and helping my dad out, working on some stuff a little bit, not much, but
Nice.
still hang out with them.
So you got a good sized garden then?
No, all my stuff's in containers, but I'm trying to grow it in the best way I can to see maybe I could set a world record or something for a tomato. Have you seen the largest tomato, dude? This thing was like, I don't know, 20 something feet tall, and this dude set a world record with this tomato. It's ridiculous. He had to
So
like have
that's what you're thinking you're gonna do?
he like had to have a ladder to climb up to the top. I don't know, I just want to grow stuff. I love plants and animals, so that's
Yeah,
just a good fun pastime thing to do for me.
man.
It's peaceful.
If I had land, I would just tear it all up and I'd start throwing seeds in. I wouldn't tend to it at all. I'm like, just see what happens. Right? What do you got to lose? A couple dollars in seeds? I don't care. Rip up the lawn, make it look like shit. I don't care. Turn it into a jungle. We're good. We got
Cool.
we got rhubarb growing. That would be the dream. Rhubarb growing everywhere. We got cabbage over there. A little bit of everything. That's the hope. One day maybe. All right.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah. So, all right, we've talked enough about gardens. We're going to get to some pickups. I'm going to let you go first because I think you probably have a little bit more than I do. So that would make sense for you to go first. And now we have 3 people hanging out with us. So it's proper time. It's go time.
Okay, so I felt these in the past, but this is another set, and I don't know how you guys feel about the Atari 2600, but I've got some fond memories of playing that over at my Aunt Sandra's house. She had one. She had Frogger and Pitfall, and there's like a tank game. I think it's called Combat, maybe. I don't know if I have it here in this bundle, but that tank game was one of my favorite Atari games of all time. But and I've already found these, but to see wireless controllers with the receiver, all dusty and crusty, wireless controllers for the Atari 2600. Yeah, and they work. I tested them out on my console, so that's the first thing. Do you want to do like 2, Dano, or you want to keep it running longer?
Go one more. Go one more. But hey, that and those are going to be 40 years old, right? At least.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's actually Atari branded, so it's really cool about that.
Man,
you were finding
some great Atari stuff lately.
Yeah, man. But let's see.
And what do those retail for? Wood.
Honestly, they don't go for that much. I think with the receiver and everything, probably $50. So
okay.
they're not really pricey, but then I'll save that one. We'll do this. How about a couple of PS4 games? This one here actually hadn't got to play yet. So Metro Exodus. I've heard a lot of good things about these games. They say they're kind of like Fallout or whatever. It's like a post-apocalyptic world with all these mutated animals and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then this one here, I don't know if you guys know, but I do love some Mega Man, and I've got almost all of them on the NES. And this game right here, Mighty Number 9, everybody says it's trash. So, I picked them up down at the same dude, I get the Blu-ray stuff from. He always has, a couple PlayStation games for $2.50 a piece. So I figured I'd try it out, see what it was like.
It's worth that price. At $2.50, you got nothing to lose. I mean, I've seen enough gameplay of that one that it's a little, I don't know. I guess the expectations were just too high. That was the real problem.
Yeah, I guess if you're expecting Mega Man, from what I've heard, and I did watch a couple videos, that this is not Mega Man. So if you're going into it thinking you're playing like Mega Man, you're not.
Yeah, you'd be shit out of luck on that one. So first thing I actually found a few box sets this week.
Nice, man.
Yeah. We picked up the BBC, The Office, the complete series.
I love that show, man.
Ricky Gervais right there. That was like his big breakout role right there.
Yep.
So I've seen this before. It's been years since I've watched it. So what better way than you get the whole set, because I had the season 1 and 2, but it didn't have the special included in it.
Yeah.
So this is a nice upgrade, and for $3.75, it was well worth it.
Heck yeah, man.
Next thing I found was this Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis collection, Volume 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the thing with these guys, I mean, they were such pioneers in comedy, if you think about it, because this stuff was going on in the 50s. They were a duo and both megastars. I mean, just as a comedian, and then Dean Martin, obviously, as a singer as well, he was through the roof. That collection, that box set right there is like a $40-$50 box set.
Yeah, that's a nice find right there.
Because it's volume 2. Volume 1, a little more common. But you know what? Let's share a little clip here, and we can get a little taste of some of their early work.
I look forward to it.
All right.
What's the matter? I want to show these men. He's looking for it.
Is he coming?
No, he's just standing there looking around. Yeah, he's going now.
Don't you worry, because if he comes, I'll stop with one word.
What's that?
Help!
Now shut up, you idiot, before you do get him down here.
Hey, let me see you talk to that drunk again. That was marvelous. That was terrific. Never saw your lips move a bit. Well, you're the greatest ventriloquist I ever saw. Come on, do it again.
Why don't you go home and lie down on a sponge?
All right, I can be just
That was sponge.
I'm going to stay right here until you do it again.
Get me out of here!
Terrific. Positively terrific.
Hey, what's going on here?
All right. So that gives you the idea. Like, it holds up. The jokes are good. You always forget, because people are so quick to dismiss anything from the 50s, and they're like, I can't relate to that. The joke was good. Why don't you go home, lie on a sponge, and dry out? You know what I mean? Because you're a drunk.
Yeah. And didn't he play like in some like John Wayne movies and stuff too back in the day? I think Dean Martin did.
Yo,
He was
yeah.
He was like a drunken sheriff in this town on some John Wayne movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really good movie. So he's been in a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, and Dean Martin, just so much stuff. And Jerry Lewis too. So funny. The voice, that was like predated everything that we would love later on. Because then obviously after that you had stuff like Don Knotts, and
I love Don Knotts.
funny. So you know what I mean? Like, it was a continuation that I always noticed.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, those were the 2 box sets that I found right out the gate, and I was pretty happy with those 2. Let's hop back to your stuff.
Oh man, so let's jump into some DVD goodness, man.
And we got Michael just chimed in. It was Rio Bravo, the Sons of
Katie Elder. Yeah. He knows what's up.
He does.
Those are good shows too. Love some John Wayne, man. So we'll just jump into some cool, DVD stuff I didn't have. Natural Born Killers. This is the director's cut. And this, Dano, if you've not seen this movie right here, I highly recommend it. The 13th Warrior. Definitely check that one out.
I know that movie. I don't know if I've seen it though.
You've got to check that one out, man. Have you seen Natural Born Killers before?
Yeah, I have seen
it. You have? Okay. So then we got a good one here. We got Clooney and Tarantino.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still Dawn. That I've seen that many a time.
I've
seen that whole series because there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, they're all good too, man, if you like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then we got some horror stuff going on here. Waxworks and Waxworks 2.
That's a good little combo pack.
Yeah, man. Then we got some Stephen King, Silver Bullet.
Yep. You don't see that one as often as the other ones.
Yeah. And then this movie right here, I absolutely loved this movie. First time I seen it, that one scene where the alien walks in front of the screen or whatever. But Signs,
Signs is great too. Yeah.
really good movie. Yeah, man. M. Night Shyamalan and some, great actors in there. Just a great story too about alien stuff. So that's the DVD stuff we got for this week.
Ain't bad. I found some DVDs and Blu-rays as well. Let's see here. First up, still sealed up, brand new. It looks like, yeah, looks like someone just took the code from it, and it's Rogue One.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've seen that yet.
That, I mean, by far the best Star Wars movie I've seen since the original trilogy of the late 70s. Like this movie moved me. Like I like shed a tear at the end because it was so damn good.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I'm serious. Like the feeling I had when I was a kid watching the original
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, I was able to get with this one. Like I would, if you haven't seen this, get on it and be prepared at the end when the music kicks on to be like, fuck, they did it. That's what I wanted to feel all these years.
I bet you it'll hit a sweet spot with me, man.
We got Blu-ray of Cowboy Bebop, the complete series.
Come in there with some Cowboy Bebop, man. Yes. Such a great show. Such a great show.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've even seen an episode. I'm very familiar with it. I've never sat down and watched a whole episode, but.
Do you like kind of jazz type music, Dano?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's got some of that vibe going on. They're like these space bounty hunters out in space, and they got some good characters in there. Yes, you definitely need to see that if you love anime. Gotta watch that. Cowboy Bebop.
Awesome. Well, I'm pumped on that. We found this He-Man and Masters of the Universe Origins, 10 episodes. This was the reboot from 2002, I do believe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit odd. I don't really recall this all that well, but it was cheap. We'll check it out, give it a shot. But oh my god. Yes,
Asha. What's up, man?
Yes, I was just Rogue One. Did you actually shed a tear when you watched this movie when you finished up? I'm hoping Yes says yes. I went to the local media shop here and got Metalocalypse season 1.
I used to watch that on Adult Swim, dude.
Yeah. How funny is this show?
I love that show, man.
God, kills me. And another box set from the same place. We got The State, the complete series. Do you remember this on MTV?
No, I don't remember that. What's it about?
It's a like a sketch comedy show, just little 5-minute segments here and there. But it has it was the same group of people that did Reno 911.
Oh, okay.
Wet Hot American Summer. So let me see. It had like Michael Ian Black, Kerry Kenny, Thomas Lennon, Ken Marino, Michael Showalter, David Wayne. Really funny stuff. Really good. I was pumped to find this too because it's like early MTV stuff. And Yesay says, "You're goddamn right. I shed a tear from my dick." Yeah. Wow, Yesay, I like that. So yeah, that's what we found for the basic media DVD Blu-ray stuff. But I feel good about that haul. Pretty pumped on it.
That's nice, yeah.
What let's get back to your pickups here.
Okay, so let's do some of this Atari stuff, and I'm gonna save that one. But we got a few Atari games here. We got Defender on the 2600, Haunted House, good old Missile Command.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, and this is the one I was playing. You were. I think it's called Tank there at the top, but it's got a
Combat.
couple
Yeah, yeah.
things on there. Then we got good old Pac-Man.
Always have that.
Did I have this one in there already? Yeah, so I got 2 copies of Defender. Private Eye.
I've never seen that one.
I hadn't either. This is a Coleco Donkey Kong.
Yep, which you can play in both systems.
Yep. Some Blackjack. And this one here, Smurf. Rescuing Gargamel's Castle.
I've got that one too. Yeah, I love the gray carts on that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a few of the Atari games. So we went over that. So we got 2 different stacks of Blu-rays, and I'm gonna split these into 2. Have you ever seen Lawless?
I feel like I might have.
It's got Shia LaBeouf in it, and the dude that played Venom. What was his name? Tom Hardy.
Yep.
It's a really good movie. And it's about an old story of these 3 brothers, basically. That's a really good watch right there. Got Magnificent Seven.
Classic. Wait,
Yes,
that's the remake one?
That's the Yul Brynner. That's
the original. Yeah.
Steve McQueen. All those guys are in there. And this right here, this movie actually took me by surprise because I thought it was just going to be terrible. Victor Frankenstein. Really good movie. Then here's a classic, Fight Club. And Crimson Peak.
I've never heard of Crimson Peak. Is it a horror? What is that?
Let's see here. It's one of those Del Toro movies, and it apparently is like a. It says from the imagination of I can't pronounce that name, de Toro. He made Pan's Labyrinth. Okay.
Yep.
Comes a gothic romance masterpiece. So there you go.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, if it's in that vein, it's got to be at least worth the visuals for it.
That's got to be, man.
And Yes Osh is asking, what is Fight Club about? Yes, how dare you ask that question? Because you already know the answer. You're just trolling right now.
What does he say in the movie? Number 1 thing: don't mention Fight Club.
Exactly. So we can't even mention it. When you think of Batman, like what time period comes to your mind first when you think Batman?
Michael Keaton, man.
Really? Keaton's the one that always comes first?
Yep. My favorite Batman.
Interesting. For me, it was always Batman 66 with Adam West.
Oh, that's good too, though, you know.
Yeah, because for me growing up, it was just I had an uncle that was 7 years older, so he like would always watch it and always do the quotes from the show. So I was like a fond place in my heart for it. So anytime I see the imagery from that time period, I love it. So I've been buying these figures up from Target. There was exclusive Batman McFarlane figures.
Oh, some McFarlane goodness.
Yep. So this is what we snagged up. And the bad thing about these is they had a bunch in print there, and then they sold out of that first line, and now it's getting tougher to find them. So we found a penguin. I don't know if you can see that, but it's.
Oh yeah, look at the graphics on that too, man.
Oh, it doesn't the box just pop alone?
Yeah, that is sweet.
Beautiful. Love it. Also, we found this one. This one was hidden at the Target because this is long out of print too. This one they hadn't. So I found it and it was clearanced for $8. That's how long they had been, hiding this thing. So we got the Riddler right there.
That is super cool, man.
And then the last thing I found, I was pumped really pumped. I didn't think I was going to be able to find one of these, but we got the Batcave.
What? I didn't even know. That is crazy. That is the Adam West Batcave, yeah.
It is. So 24 inches. Like this is when it opens up, proper play set.
Nice.
So thrilled to get all these because like I said, I kind of waited and delayed before I actually got all this stuff. Because I wanted it months back and I was like, I'll just wait, it'll be there. And it hadn't been there. That was the problem. So we're going to different targets, like searching down below and trying to find these pieces. And I got a couple more coming in the mail. So it's the set. There's not very many of the base models. There's a couple variants, but the variants are stupid. They're wearing like shorts and no masks. So we don't need that stuff. But the last ones I really need a Catwoman and the Robin with the mask. So we're getting close. We're getting close.
Yeah, because I'd never seen those, Dano. Not at Walmart or anywhere around here.
Yeah, it was a Target exclusive. See, there was the problem.
I don't even think we have Target anymore.
So you probably
I think it's Roses. Anyway,
you probably wouldn't have seen it. And the thing is, they didn't talk. No one's talking about those figures. You know, that was the other thing. So I just happened to stumble upon it. I think it was on an ad on Facebook. Someone was trying to sell one. And I was like, oh, interesting.
sure.
Yes, it says fucking beauty penguin. Yeah, that penguin figure is awesome. We got Retro Heck in the house.
What up, Retro Heck?
Good to have you here. We're just talking a little bit about Batman 66. You can see in the background. Oh, maybe you can. You can see I got my box set right there. So nice to add to the collection. I got a nice vintage poster too. So we got a nice collection of stuff going on. Back to your stuff, Woodbarion. What else you find this week?
Okay, let's jump into a little bit of paper media. This is what we were talking about earlier when Stephen King. Mary was telling me about this, but Stephen King had to sell his work under a different name, and this Richard Bachman was actually Stephen King. Well, if you would like to, you can. Dano,
What's up?
Mary's wanting to.
Yeah, let Mary ambush it. She
No, I'm not getting on the camera, but I'll explain it from the door.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently when Stephen King was releasing some of his early books in the 70s, he had, I don't know how many books he had got out, maybe 2 or 3, and he had a whole lot of other manuscripts and books ready, and his publishers didn't want to release those books under the Stephen King name because they were afraid it would flood the market and they wouldn't sell. And he was also curious to see whether or not books that he wrote would sell, or was it just his name that the books were selling for? So he decided to come up with a different name. And I think it said that he had a friend named Richard, and he was listening to a song by the Bachman Turner Overdrive. And that's how he got Richard Bachman.
Wow.
And so he started selling books under Stephen King and Richard Bachman. But then there was a guy that ran a bookstore or something like that and was a huge Stephen King fan. And he noticed that some of these Richard Bachman stories seemed a lot like him. And he actually got a hold of Stephen King's publicist and manager or something like that, and sent him a letter or called him and said, I think this Richard Bachman guy is actually Stephen King. And Stephen King ended up contacting this man and gave him an exclusive interview that they posted in some newspaper saying, I killed Richard Bachman. And that's how it came about, how Stephen King became Richard Bachman.
Wow. Well,
So
thank you, Mary. That was awesome. Well done.
Actually, me and my son watched a little video about explaining all that like 2 nights ago. That's why I remembered it.
Well, still, to be able to remember it and tell it as is, like, well done. Thank you for the information.
Well, no problem. You guys rock.
Thank you. Now, Wood, is it more valuable to find a copy like that? I don't even.
Honestly, I have no idea.
So you haven't researched the
No
value.
research done here. Mary knows more about Stephen King and what kind of the hard books, the first releases, and all that, what they go for. But we do have a few of these books. So we had The Shining, Stephen King, hardback with the dust cover.
And I think that is the first edition.
Yeah, this is the first edition. So,
Oh wow.
and then we had The Black House by Stephen King, hardback with the dust cover. And this was one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Misery, Stephen King, also hardback with slipcover. And then Stephen King, Lizzie's Story.
I've never heard of that one.
I haven't either, but I know you like to read books and stuff, Dan. I just don't know exactly what you're into as far as reading books.
It's usually just biographies, pretty much is all I'll read, or music related stuff. But it's almost never fiction. I almost never read fiction. But I like audiobook fiction where I don't have to work for it, 'Cause my mind
Yeah,
my mind just starts to wander right away. Like I'll read a paragraph and be like, I don't know what I just read.
I'm the
Which is
same way.
it's a bummer. I wish that I could retain that stuff, but it really doesn't work. That's why you have Mary just, do the audiobook version. She can read it or record it. Problem solved. Now, Mary reads all those, I take it?
Mary is a huge reader. I mean, she could tell you probably everything about most of these books. She's probably read every one of them. I mean, she reads on a daily basis.
All right. So yeah. So she's lucky. She can retain all that stuff, and yeah.
Well, I'm in the same boat with you, and I'm paddling the same direction.
Yeah. You can read you read a whole page, and you're just like, wait a minute.
What?
My mind's not even on the word. I'm thinking about something else as I'm reading this. Like, this
Yeah,
is
no,
not good.
it ain't.
All right. Let's see. I got some more. I got some more stuff here. Let me see.
All right.
Discogs. It's a site to buy music. It's kind of like the eBay of just music and vinyl and CDs. I found these for $1 each on there. We found this George Carlin, Occupation Fool.
That's in great condition too.
It's an all right condition, not amazing, but I've never seen this album.
I haven't either.
He's pretty young there too. And then also Toledo, Window Boss by Carlin.
Huh.
Man, I love comedy. I like old comedy. George Carlin, just you can't beat him. Last thing I found this week for $5 at my local media shop was this Wario figure.
Nice. Oh, it's posable.
It is. It's a really nice, nice figure, well made, nice and bold. I love me some Wario. As far as the universe, the Mario universe goes, Wario is like top of the list. Sarcasm, he's a bit of an asshole. Like I can relate. I can relate to Wario more than any of the other characters, I would say.
Yeah.
So for $5, yeah. And I got a bunch of other Wario stuff in the collection, so I'm happy to add that into the collection as well.
For sure, man.
Were you got anything else?
I have one more item.
Okay, and this is the grand finale of the pickup right here.
Check this out. For $3. And one of the buttons is messed up, but that's some more Atari goodness. So you could change, you could have, 2, 4, 6, 7 cartridges in here. And with the press of a button, you could change which game you wanted to play on the Atari 2600. And this
Goes into the system.
goes into the system. Yeah. Look at that wood grain.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, man. And I love this one right here. Mario Bros, man.
Yep.
And check out the art. I love the art on Atari stuff. It's just so cool. Like the centipede.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior Pac-Man. There's just, well, that artwork's not, that good. But Taz on the Atari 2600. When have you heard of that?
I've never seen or heard that.
And check out this millipede artwork here. Check that out.
I love the colors, how it pops.
Yeah, man. And look at this Miss Pac-Man on the Atari 2600.
That's great too.
Yeah. Oh, this right here looks like an old Journey album or something right here. Video pinball. And the labels on these are kind of bad, but you know how the Journey had the scarab or whatever and had the cool colors on the albums? So yeah, man. That I couldn't believe it. The technology that they had back then, come on. We had wireless controllers and we had basically like an 8-track where you could have all those in there and play
a disc turner especially.
Yeah.
Man.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Like, how hardcore would you have to be about your Atari back in 1978 that you were like, I'm so lazy, I don't want to pull the cartridge out, I just want to flex when my friends come over.
Yeah.
Like, what game you want to play? Hold on, let me hit you still have to get up. It doesn't save you much time, but I guess you're flexing because you're like, I love my Atari so much, I got this. And when that was brand new, that probably was expensive as hell.
Yeah. Holy crap. Because, what did the Atari 2600 cost when it launched? Like a couple $100 or more?
It was expensive. I feel like I've seen this before. Like they've gone over the numbers and stuff, and it was through the roof. Where it's like if you were buying it, that was a serious investment. I want to say it was equal to like $500 now. So it's like buying a PS5 or something. Crazy. How much did you get that for?
Well, that was like $10. Well, all the Atari stuff was $10 together. I just kind of split it up for the show or whatever. It was like $10 or so for all of it.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible right there. And we got John in the house.
What up, John?
Always good to have you in the house here. $169.95 for Atari, John was saying. I'm guessing John probably had an Atari when they, were just coming out, if I had to guess. He's also saying if you see any John Hartford albums, pick them up. And I will do that. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of that.
Me neither, but I'll check it out after this.
Keep my eyes peeled on that kind of stuff. Man, that's so cool. I'd never seen, like, the Atari stuff you just showed the last few weeks. I'd never seen any of that stuff. I've never seen the carrying case that you found. I'd never seen, obviously, that switcher. I didn't know they made wireless controllers for it.
I couldn't believe it. And they work still to this day, which is ridiculous. I was literally playing that combat right before and I was like, this is crazy. You just got to point it right at the, receiver.
And it takes, obviously, batteries, right?
Yeah, it takes, I think it's 9 volts. That's what it takes. Let's open it up. Yeah, so just one 9-volt battery.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, man. Not bad. 1982.
Interesting. Man. I love, man, growing up, my uncle who lived with my grandmother, I was always at my grandmother's house. So that Atari was always there. So I played Atari nonstop. Like, you talk about being addicted. At 5 years old, I remember just being like, this is the great. I don't want to go outside and play. Like this is it, right? I'm in the future. This is amazing.
It really was like that, man. The sounds and everything, the way it worked, it was just like you said, man. You just went somewhere else. You know, you're not on the farm no more in Woodbury. You're in an
No.
alien planet somewhere.
Oh God, it was so much fun. It's amazing. It's a shame. I wish my uncle was still around. Like he died years and years ago. I was 15 when he passed away, but he would have been about the stuff now, the games. He would have lost his mind because he was always buying all the tech stuff. So he had a ColecoVision, he had Laserdisc, he had everything that was kind of like cutting edge at that time. And man, as a kid to be able to experience all that stuff firsthand was talk about luck.
That was mind blowing back then, dude.
It was. People can't understand that, but shit. It's funny. Our generation like really grew up as babies, like in this whole video game world.
Yeah. I mean, we was watching A-Team and stuff like that, and MacGyver, and playing Atari and stuff like that back then. Before the NES, you know, it's like, and that was a big deal to come in and watch something as simple as, hey, MacGyver's on, man. You would rush to the house and get in there to not be late to watch MacGyver, you know, and it was only like 30 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, but you set the whole week, you know, you're
Yeah.
ready. That Friday night or that Thursday night, it was like, man, A-Team's on. I can't wait.
Yeah, my mom would come to the porch and say, you know, the A-Team's on, and we would rush from the creek or wherever we were to get back into the house to watch that. So good memories, man.
Yeah, it really is. John remembers I tried to get over 100,000 in Pac-Man, played like 20 hours, never got close. I'm assuming he's talking about the Atari Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's tough on the Atari, man.
It's not very good. It's not very good on the Atari. CM Retro in the house.
What is up, CM?
I was watching his video this morning.
I did too. I give him a thumbs up, and I agreed with what he was talking about. But I was going to ask, being as he's here, let's ask him about Mighty Number 9. CM, is this anything like Mega Man? Anyways. But yeah, I checked his video out too.
I'm too old
for this shit.
Back in the day, gamer.
Oh, what up?
I watched his video this morning too. What are the chances? He's out there smoking his cigar, hanging out with a four-wheeler, drinking a beer.
It reminded me of like that Duke Nukem guy. So, you know, back in the day, gamer, I love that dude. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, a sweetheart, very good guy. CM Retro says a little like Mega Man. Laugh
a
little. The only thing back in the day gamers should have been doing to add to that video was he should have got like his pump on first, then like ripped his shirt off, and then had done all the stuff. I thought that could have added a little value to that whole video, but you know, what are you gonna do?
His pump's like always on though. That dude's big dude.
But you gotta really get your pump on so the veins are popping, you know what I mean?
Like,
yeah, you gotta get his pump on, you know. Dan, I had a dream we were riding skateboards in the hood at the big house party.
I bet that would be a fun time.
Yep. Skateboarding. I got mine in my bathroom right now. I gotta bust it out here. The weather's almost good enough. It's been 50 for the last couple weeks now.
Dano, did you ever jump that speed bump on your skateboard?
No, I didn't. That speed bump was a lot bigger than I thought it was. Like, it was like I would have died trying to do that. But that's where I had to replace. I put a box down and ollied over the box, you know, which was much more doable. So that I did do. So I still catch some air, but I wasn't the speed bump, not a possibility.
Yeah, I give you a like on the box jump.
I would have taken. All right, so he would have taken the shirt off. But it was too cold. I was thinking it might have been too cold, but I was like, you know, if you're real hardcore, you know, maybe just Yeah, I don't blame you though. I don't blame you. Wood, that beard is getting long.
It is. It's getting gray too. I try to hide that, tuck that back in.
I hear that. Like my sideburns growing like gray now. I'm buzzing them. I'm like, no,
Mine too. I had
we're
to shave
not.
mine off.
Yeah, I just get rid of that real quick because we don't need to be having that just yet. Oh, Dano, I keep adding to these boxes. You'll need a forklift to lift them.
Oh no! Whoa!
John always hooks it up. Like the box of goodies he sends down are just, and he doesn't lie. Sometimes I just like show up to my house and there's a box on the porch and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that dude's awesome. Are you going to do that like a live thing, Dano, and
Yeah,
maybe have some guests? Because
yeah.
I'd be in there on that, man.
I like this format better going live. I know maybe some people don't to watch wise because there's not a lot of production, but at least there's this interaction and we're building community again, which I think has been kind of lacking, obviously. And
yeah, and I mean it's like anything that happens live, it's live. I mean there's no cuts, there's no scripts. I mean it's just what it is. It's like going to see a live concert. The hypes for me is there. And being on camera, like I'd never done this a whole lot before. I kind of like it.
It is nice. It's good, and the way we do it, we keep it moving, which is nice. I would love to have more segments, more formatting going on, but my life right now, it just doesn't exist. Free time. That's the other thing. This format's so much easier because I'm not having to spend 2 hours trying to produce some sort of 20-minute video,
Yeah.
I like doing those too, but just haven't had time. But Brosep, what's good? We're just hanging out. We just went through our pickups. We're going through the Batman toys, stuff like that. We're having fun. Yeah, don't forget to plan on the Dr. Seuss episode. Send a bunch of dupes. That's awesome. That would be a proper time. Maybe I'll break up the box when you send it, so I have that stuff on the side to be able to show. Because I was doing research on Dr. Seuss after we showed all our finds a couple weeks ago. I learned a lot about Dr. Seuss, and I actually found a whole listing of at least the stuff he released, not so much his publishing company that is all the offshoot stuff, but I'm sure we could get to the bottom of that too. Back in the day, Gamer says, I miss coming home on Wednesdays to watch RGC. I know that's one of the downsides of doing this, but at the same time, if you don't watch Wednesday, you can watch this next Wednesday if you weren't watching it live. So it's, that's something. Boxes, Dan, boxes. Oh man, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be good because, like we were talking earlier, thrifting has been bad. It's just nothing. And my thrift store, another thing that the prices they're charging now are just.
Man.
It blows my mind how expensive they're trying to push this stuff. And I get it. There's a lot of resellers out there, so they got to kind of make their money because they know the resellers are just going to buy it all up and resell it. So it's a tough game. They're just trying to fight back, I guess. I suppose. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I found this Atari stuff. The booth right next to it, there was some NES Commons over there, and I was like looking at those. And I was like, how much for the games? And it's like, well. Mario and Duck Hunt goes for like $20 on eBay right now. Okay, I can't buy anything from this guy. I mean, if you didn't have a copy of Mario Duck Hunt, okay, maybe $20, but you could probably get it cheaper than that right on eBay, maybe. I don't see that game being that expensive at all.
It's tough to say because we've noticed that the market's dried up. That stuff isn't really out there available. The only place you're going to be able to find is a game store or eBay. So, or if you get lucky at a yard sale. But other than that, the thrifts you aren't going to find those carts really anymore.
Yeah. He had like a copy of Mario Bros. 3 and he was wanting $40 for it at a flea market.
See, that's
Which I
another thing.
understand.
So I'm guessing that that person's not getting new stock in. They're not finding it. So what they're doing is setting a premium on the good stuff because they're like, you know what? I'm not going to find this again for a while. So if someone wants this, they're going to have to pay for it, which I get it. You might find someone impulse buy. Someone's like, I need that right now. I'm going home. I need to play it.
Yep, I'm going to the ATM to get the cash. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
that. Yep.
So because if they can't get new inventory in, I guess it makes sense to set on those prices and just let someone come to them as opposed to, forcing the sale out there, underselling it, and not be able to bring anything new in to sell. So crazy setup we got these days. CM says, I hate people when they tell you eBay prices.
I know, man. It immediately lets you know you're not going to be able to buy anything from there.
Unless you really want something, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's something you'll never see again because you know how rare it is, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna have to pay the retail on this because there's no way around it, and I might as well just do it. I can see the product right there, But yeah, that you have to be hardcore, something for you, maybe like some sort of McFarlane horror figure you saw, and you'd be like, "Oh man, I need it. I'm sorry, I need it. I'm gonna spend the $30 and buy it from this guy."
Yeah, I mean, if it's something like that, but if it's anything electronic and you can't test it, I'm gonna go to where I can just have it shipped to my home with some sort of, eBay backs the customer. The seller's the one that's got a problem on eBay. It's all about the customer, so I would definitely spend my my $30 over there and just have it shipped to my house rather than go out here and search for all this and, buy it down there for $30 without a guarantee, have to deal with it not working and all this other stuff,
No, you're right. 100%. Yeah, there is that guarantee. At least you have something that you can kind of fall back on. So I agree on that too. What I hate when sellers make you feel like he's sitting on gold with a few NES carts.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, right? You're like, oh, wow, you have that. Especially nowadays, because the people that are selling now, they see people like us. They don't realize that we have these collections that we've been building for years and years. So it's like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. Like, you don't have shit. You don't, like, I can go into half the game stores now and, they think, oh, look at our, I'm like, this is nothing. Like, you show me nothing here that makes me I feel nothing going into your game store because you have nothing that's special in this place. Burt Reynolds mustache in the house. Good evening to you as well.
Good evening.
I do not have Candy O vinyl. And CM Retro agrees 100% with Bro Sub. Yeah. Yeah. We got another 5-6 minutes here. If anyone else wants to chime up in the comments to bring up some other topics, we're obviously here to chat it up. Now, when you showed your DVD stuff, how much of that stuff are you keeping? Is that going into your collection, or do you watch then sell? What's the strategy?
No, all the horror stuff I'm definitely keeping because I like scary movies, man. What can I say? I love Halloween. So it's like my favorite holiday. And I know that's weird, but I love Halloween.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. So you got a decent sized collection of DVDs for the horror stuff?
Yeah, between Mary and myself, we do have a pretty good collection of stuff. And it's getting super harder to find, stuff to add.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, because everyone collects horror stuff too, so you're battling against all those people, and then on top of it, how many horror titles? There's a lot of them, but I'm sure after a while you see the same ones over and over.
Yeah, and it's like Dano. I collect some of the stuff that everybody likes. I collect video games. I collect horror DVDs and Blu-rays, and even like cars and the other stuff I collect. I collect everything that everybody else seems to like.
It's tough. It's tough to find a marketplace. Like I do this all the time. I'm like, I need to think of something that no one else is collecting right now to get really passionate about, because that's the only way you can get ahead on it, because you're like already there, you've done it, and then once the trends come around, you're already set.
Yep.
CM Retro went to a game store today. They have so much retro. Looks like people are dumping it. I haven't seen that many NES carts in the wild in a long time.
Well, is that like a retail setting? I mean, I don't see that stuff. If I do,
It's a
it's
game
super
store.
overpriced. At the like Game Exchange, that's one of the big ones we have here, and the prices are ridiculous still.
Yeah, I mean, the same. I mean, I don't know. Tough to say, but yeah, I'm assuming some people are dumping it off. It's like as we get older, it's like how much of the stuff can we really keep? So maybe people are trimming some of that collection down and kind of getting rid of it. I don't know, but that's crazy. What's hilarious is that us who started collecting years ago are seeing what we have better inventories in stores. Yeah, yeah, most of the places we do have better stock. You can go through my shelves and you're going to find a lot more stuff than going into a game store. Thank you, John. You definitely you know what I'm all about. John knows, man. Oh, take our shirts off. I haven't worked out in the last 3 weeks because I thought I had a hernia from playing drums. So I didn't want to mess it up and make it worse. So like my guns are good right now, but I got to work on my abs. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to blind you guys, so
Yeah, John, the Cars are so good. Cars are as underrated band of all time. They don't get the love they deserve. One of Boston's best rock and roll bands. Agreed. Yeah, it's our local store. Racks of NES, Super Nintendo, PS1, PS2. It was a lot, mostly commons. All right, so yeah, maybe people are just thinning it out. I know I've done it, especially on the PS1. I'm like, man, some of these sports titles I don't need. If it's stuff that I'm like, do I need Wheel of Fortune? Probably not. But yeah, I've had to do it a little bit here and there just because you can't hold on to everything, and you know, and that's how we're able to kind of maneuver and be able to get other fun stuff.
yeah.
That's how it works. You trade one for another and keep shifting and till your collection is pretty much your museum, your own personal museum that you get to walk into and hang out daily and feel good about. It looks like you got your eBay stuff behind you. You get overwhelmed in there? Do you run out of space?
Yeah, I didn't mean to have that in here.
Oh, God damn. Oh, look. Oh, look. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's a hustle. I get it. If that's what you're doing to make your living, by all means, I got no issues, especially when you're buying can openers and selling those. like I don't like buy clothing, can openers. It's just like when I see like the really fun stuff get resold, I'm like, no, get that to someone that really wants it. It's like music.
Well, hey, man, we ain't seen nothing yet. We got a vintage mixer out there, one of the chrome ones from like the 70s.
like a KitchenAid or a Sunbeam.
It's a Sunbeam, I think.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, see that stuff's cool, but at the same time, if you can sell it off, yeah, by all means.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping up here, guys. This has been a fun hour-long episode. I'm glad there was enough stuff found. Woodbarion's carrying the team right now because he's finding way more than I am. It's costing me retail over here.
Well, if I'd have been like hunting like I used to, all we would have had was a small stack of Atari stuff.
Oh
So-
yeah, the way you used to go about it, yeah, you just on the weekends, wouldn't you? Just like your days off, you go down to the flea market or something, or the
Well,
workshop.
that's all I looked for was video game stuff. Now it's a different thing. I look for anything from T-shirts to of course, can openers, media records, all that stuff.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Back in the Day Gamer, thanks for hanging out, John, CM Retro, Brosep, everyone that's been hanging out. Appreciate you
Thanks, fellas.
guys. We will see you next week, same time, same place. And until then, guys, have a good night and do what you do. And toodaloo.
Toodaloo.